All right, I'm gonna get started here real quick as people jump in. Pretty no frills deal today. Swap those around.
He must be hungry because he had in for lunch.
All right, let's get in here and play a little bit.
That's a bullet. Midway proudly presents.
Let me know if you hop on, if you can hear the audio, if you can hear me. It's super loud for me, but if you all are good, then all set. Hopefully this controller works. Just went ahead and set this up. Record. I'll move some stuff around over here so I can kind of see what's going on. There we go. All right. Yeah, let me know if you hop on, if you can hear me, if you can hear really anything right now. Just set this up so I'm not 100% sure everything's working as it should. So, yeah, holler at me. Let me know how things are working. Ooh, Arizona. Again, let me know if you hop on, if you can hear me, if you can hear the game, if something's too loud. All this is kind of being tweaked as I go, so hit me up in chat. All right. Let's see if I can remember how to play this. All right. Again, you all can hear me. Let me know how it's going. Let me know that you can hear me, that you can hear the game. If the game's overwhelming, whatever, let me know. R2, L2 buttons. Okay. Well, let's just start quick outs. If I remember, the play clock just kind of moves along, so. Whoa. Okay. Apparently off the crowd is legit. Oh. God, I keep forgetting how brutal this game is. Ah. Not a good way to start. Again, if you hop on, holler at me. Let me know if things are working. If it all sounds okay. Because I genuinely don't know how this is sounding. Ooh. Oof. Oh. Let's go. All right, yeah. Almost missed that play. Oh, nobody. Let's see what we got in the goal line situation here. All right, again, if you can all hear me, if it all sounds good, let me know in the chat. Let me know how things are sounding. Got to figure out where my turbo is.
The ball's at the 8-yard line. Back from center. Gets it up.
And if you're out there, what do you think about the new AF1? How it's shaping up? What you think of the social media campaigns and oh seriously, did I get it back? Apparently I did.
It's 3rd and short.
That is not what I meant to do. No.
They're going to attempt a 4th down conversion.
And once again, that is not what I meant to do. I am rusty.
He put a bit too much on that one.
This is back in the days they actually had a sideline.
With the screen.
Oh, this is going to be a long one. You're going to have to all bear with me with some crappy gameplay.
Tacks on the extra point.
Well, once again, if you're out there and you can hear me, you can hear this, let me know. Let me know that things are working. All buttons. I got a bunch more than 3 buttons on this controller. But yeah, so what do you think of the social media situation? It seems like they've been a lot more active, getting some shorts out there, some small dose interviews, asking fans what they'd like to hear. And once it just seems like they're making a more concerted effort this year to, well, with a new organization, they're trying to do it right to begin with. Oof. Oh, this is going to be a long game at this rate.
The ball's at the 3-yard line.
Oof. Make up some of that.
The ball's at the 19-yard line. Nice grab. Gets the first
All right, there we go. Actually, move it a little bit. But I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of criticism over the Mexico teams. That's one that I'm actually kind of in favor of. The flights are no more expensive than going to Billings, and some of these other smaller markets. So it's in a different country. There are some challenges. Um, trying to get a roster talking and not paying attention. Um, trying to get a roster full of folks that have some good it's horrible. Anyway, to have their passports all ready to go, and if you need a somebody in the last minute, trying to find that particular player is kind of crucial. I'm gonna get shut out in this bad boy. Oh, seriously? Um, yeah, having those passports ready, getting those players that you know, unfortunately are eligible for passports as well as. Um, but yeah, like I said, I see some issues if I see some issues with needing. Hey, I need a linebacker at the last minute. You know, where are you going to find that guy? You know, and you can get somebody, but do you get the quality of player that you would have gotten otherwise? Yeah, I guess I should have played that. So there's definitely gonna be some challenges, but like I said, I like the idea. I'm still hoping, holding out hope for a few more. They kind of teased safety. No, kind of teased that there potentially could be some more teams coming out. That'll be exciting to see if that does happen. All right, I gotta start paying attention to what I'm doing. The defense is getting slightly better. Ooh, okay. Ooh, my controller sticking. Maybe that's part of my problem not running. What did that fool do? All right, I found the hurdle, but
It's 1st and 20. Scrambles. Oh man!
timeout.
The clock is ticking down. Albany behind by 16. Fades back.
Ah, all right. Starting my legs under me slightly. At least I'm moving the ball. So if you're out there, tell me what you're looking forward to this season. What's sounding good? What's looking good? So I'm getting absolutely crushed in this game. Let's see how the rest of this goes. Oh, that's ugly. That's ugly, ugly, ugly. But we're getting there. So just knocking off some rust. Again, if you're out there, let me know how the audio goes. I'm assuming you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? All right. Ooh. Oh, hey, Charles. Audio's good, so the game's not overdoing it. Go. because it's like stupid loud in my ear. But as long as you can hear it, all right. That's kind of the key. Ooh. This game is just absolutely ruthless. So what's going on? How's the Philly area treating you?
The kick is up. It's off the net and easy picking.
I've got to find
That's how you get your
my
head
buttons.
knocked off.
All right, tight ends.
First down. Back pedals.
Oh, that is not what I meant to do, but that was really cool. Not 100% sure that's legal in the game, but I like it.
They're going for two. Swings it.
There we go.
And the game is closer.
Got to close the gap a little bit.
Reels it in.
Oh,
Barely gets it.
yeah. No, there really hasn't been a lot going on. That's kind of part of why I was like, oh, let's fire this up today. Um, oh, there hasn't been a lot going on since they made those last couple announcements, and they had Arena Football U. Um, it's been actually kind of surprising. So I'm hoping something's inevitable here. So you're gonna be making that 3 hour trip out to Wilkes-Barre. I thought I was the only fool that was make those kind of trips. All right, I can't even hear myself talk at this point, so hopefully that doesn't make it too quiet on your end. Ah, yeah, I need to get back into interview time. I kind of go into hibernation after the season's over, but it's about that time. Legacy tickets right on. It's gonna be a good setup. I mean, that's not where I wanted to be. Um, yeah, I think it'll be it's a good place. It's got some history of the game. I think it's gonna be all right. And I thought I might be getting shut out when I started this game. Ah, but yeah, I thought I was the only moron that would drive 3 hours for this game. I feel like they kind of need to go with the same name, but at the same time, they're trying to differentiate themselves from the previous Arena Football. So, if they didn't, I get it. If they want to do their own thing and start with something new, but for name recognition, I think it would help the area.
They line up for the field goal. The kick is up. Crushes it. Whoa, yeah.
That would not. That would have been an automatic touchback. That ball should not have been live.
The ball's at the 5-yard line. Makes the grab.
I've got to find the turbo button. Oh, I have no idea what this play is.
Back pedals.
Ah, damn it. I don't know, Wilkes-Barre. What else do you do besides Pioneers? I mean, yeah, the name still carries weight, but the name does have a lot of garbage ties tied to it. So, man, I don't know. I mean, my heart's always gonna have always gonna bleed for the Shield, but it's maybe it is time to move something on. And if it's there's the there's a story out there about was it the ship of Theseus, I believe is what it is. And so the whole thing with that, I'm gonna pause this real quick. So the whole thing with the ship of Theseus is that if a ship leaves port under one name, and oops, I pause this. So ship leaves port under one name, and as it's gone, during its journey, all the parts get replaced. Every single bolt, every single piece of wood, all get replaced. And it comes back to port. Is it still the same ship, or is it on a whole new ship? Well, we're kind of looking at kind of the opposite of that. The ship left port under one name. All the parts are still there. Comes back under another name. Is it still the old ship? And I think that's why I can kind of get behind. I kind of get behind this version of Arena Football. It is all the same parts. Like when the Orlando Predators first came back to Nashville, it was new ownership, new players, new coaches, new everything. The only thing they had was the logo. So that was the true, ship of Theseus. Is like, is that actually the Orlando Predators? Uh, it wasn't the same franchise in any way that played in the AFL. But in this case, man, it's just kind of a repackaging of what was already there. So other than packaged much, much better, much more organized from what I've seen so far. So I don't know. I've got a lot of hope for this new league. I'm going to miss the old name, but this one can grow on me, especially if we do grow to the point where we can have an AF2 again. And if we can have an AF2, then the AF1 name makes more sense. So, it kind of just makes me hold out a little bit of hope for the future, for a little more excited. No, I do not want to abort the game. All right. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. All right, I'm on defense. Hmm. So anyway, I do think there's G6. The G6 does own the AF. I think they own the AF2. Last time I checked. However, that can easily be changed. If they give it up, they never use it. And once again, I just push random buttons. Um, there's ways around it. I believe G6 does own Arena Cup. Um, yeah, I believe they own Arena Cup, Arena Bowl. So what our new championship game name is going to be. And then do I count that on my streak of Arena Bowls, or is it a whole new thing now? I've got to figure out what that damn turbo button is. Oh, take it. The G6 thing is real interesting too, because man, they said all the right things, but when it came down to it, and Bills are getting paid late. As far as I know, Bills got paid, but they just got paid late. Just came a lot of still instability, even after all the chaos we had last year. Um, so I think moving from them was a good idea. Um, I saw Titus make some comments about him still being owed some money. So I do find it funny though that they've got posted that they're gonna. Yeah. Has he been paid? I don't. That's a good question because I wouldn't count on it. I mean, they just took all the franchise out from underneath them, so they're without any franchises, that league is kind of useless. So I'd be shocked if he decided he wanted to pay for anybody. I cannot gain any ground. I can only imagine what all he is owed too. Like it's the whole thing is just messy. As was everything last year. Ooh, caught a break there. Oh, I have to score like right here. Oh,
Time is running out in the red zone.
damn it! Pushed the wrong way.
The quarterback. Time's running out. It's third and goal. Backpedaling.
There we go. Whoo. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's hundreds of thousands. I mean, it's. Oh, geez.
Going for two.
Oh, that was bad. I should have gone for the actual conversion. Oh man. They can go for the field goal.
This is a critical play. It's first and 20.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. Woo, that was not what I expected to have happen today. No, just tackle him. Please tackle
I don't think that's in the rule book.
him.
The Firebird.
So much for going deep. It threw it right into the lines. God, that was an ugly, ugly game. So yeah, yeah, there's gonna be there's it's just gonna be a lot of changes. That's what ultimately comes down to. You know, it's still gonna be the same game. It sounds like from what I'm hearing so far, not gonna be any major rule changes. Um, I'd personally be surprised to see the 3 and 4 point conversions, but yeah, I can see that going away. But Iron Man's not coming back. I think they finally given up on that idea. It's where they're in the era of CTE. These guys can't, especially for what they're getting paid, to play that long with that much risk of injury, and it's just complicated. It makes the game harder to play, harder to follow. Makes it harder for fans to follow, the coaches to follow. It's just kind of unnecessary complication, in my opinion. Um, but I know there's a lot of diehards out there that still believe in the old game and how. Oh wow, Derek Stingley, that's awesome. Made 18 tackles in one game. Right on. So now Sun's tearing it up for Houston, for the Texans. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to see what's going to happen. I do trust people that are involved, and I think that's kind of key. There's some good people that know the game and know what they're doing, and I don't know what else you can really ask for. Besides just having competent people in place, because we definitely did not have that last year for most of the year. So let me get this going again. Wow. You would think on an emulator, these old PS1 games would be quick. You would have to deal with all these loading screens. At least not for as long as we do. All right. So, and it's just a shame that these guys. Oh, here I know how to make this quieter. Oh, there we go. Muted my headphones. Um, they were offered help. They didn't take it. And that's kind of ridiculous to be offered help from some legends and just think, no, I got this. These people know the game, they know the industry, they know how to make this kind of stuff work, and I don't know, to just turn your back just never made sense last year. But if I were to say that they did everything wrong, I'd be lying. I think they had a lot of great ideas. I think teaming up with the casinos it was one of their ideas that I think would be just incredible. To do more stuff with online gaming, and just partnering up with cities at the casino. If Hutton and company were also victims, I don't know. I've kind of said all along. I don't think Hutton is. Oh, it's going to make me pick whether I want to pick or not. I don't think Hutton is quite a victim, but I don't. People calling him scam artists. I don't think it was a scam because, man, he didn't come away with much if he was trying to scam people. I think G6 was in over their heads too. Too many people not knowing what they're doing, thinking they could just pull it off. G6 was a nice bandage. Was a nice bandage to just get us through the beginning of the season, or through the end of the season. All right, I got to get to a place where I can pause this. There we go. G6 allowed us to finish the season. So for that, I'm appreciative for what they did. It's disappointing it didn't work out. Clearly they didn't have the stuff they needed to pull it off. Hutton way overpromised and way underdelivered. I don't want to go as far to say he was scamming people, but it came to the point where it felt like it because he underdelivered to the point where it feels like a scam when you don't come through with anything you say you're going to come through with. Players didn't get the money they were supposed to be getting. Teams didn't get the travel taken care of like they're supposed to. Their merchandise never showed up. Some of the jerseys finally showed up. They came at the last possible minute, but they did finally show up. So I think Hutton and his crew it was more incompetence than anything. I think also to be a lawyer, a high profile lawyer apparently, because he's still got some pretty big cases, to be running a scam. Oh, man, you risk your whole law career. That's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money to just throw away because you got $100,000 off a couple Midwest owners. So yeah, no, not saying what anybody did was right. The last season was an absolute disaster. They pulled it off, and I'll tell you what, I love the Arena Bowl. I know you were there with me. I loved it. I love the facility. I love the atmosphere. It actually got incredibly loud there at one point. The such a cool venue to go up onto the third floor and come right up to the corner of the nets. Like that's just a perspective of the game you never get to see. Um, some of those areas, I guess you call them suites, had couches in it, overlooking midfield. Man, that was cool. Like if I wasn't where I was taking pictures of the game and doing what I was doing, I would have loved to have been up on the second deck, watching that game because yeah, it's kind of it was pretty set up. For your seats, it was kind of hard to see. I could see where there'd be some pretty some nasty angles for sure. Um, but no, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I think they could pull off a team there. The trick with pulling off a team there is you're not going to sell a bunch of tickets. But what you will do is get a ton of exposure. And tickets aren't where these teams should make their money anyway. If you're making money off your team, you've got a ton of sponsorships. Well, you're in one of the largest malls in the country. You have sponsorships everywhere. Literally throw a rock, and you will hit a potential sponsor in that building. And if you load up on sponsors, it could work. It would be unorthodox, but I do think a team there could work. But man, that sales team would have to be hitting it hard. It'd just be 100% about sponsorships. The second deck is pretty well controlled. You could keep that to where it was only ticketed people. Um, Same thing with the bleachers. Yeah, mall-owned team. I mean, that would be interesting too if the mall itself purchased the team. I think it's a little more of an expense than these malls want to take, especially one that's not had a real strong history. But I don't know. I think it could work. Mall sponsor team at the very least. Like I said, the second deck you could close off and keep it to essentially like suite tickets. Have it to be at all only ticketed people because it was pretty well off second floor. Third floor, they said I think they shut down some of the restaurants up there, but they had that pretty well cordoned off too. It's that first floor that you're just going to have people's going to stop and watch a game for a little bit. And you know what? That's how you sell your brand. Get people interested. Get them. I say just come to a game. You'll love it and you'll come back. People aren't going to want to stand and on the outside if this is something they're into. They're going to buy tickets and be part of it. So, I think it could work. It takes the right kind of people, though, the right kind of sales group, the right kind of everything to pull it off. But I think it could be done. So, all right, let me get back to this real quick. Oh, I'm on offense. Whoa. Ooh, these colors should be hard to see. But yeah, they are trying to push a legitimate venue. I mean, I know they've got they have a hockey team that's been there. They had the Globetrotters have a little residency there. The National Curling Championships. So they're trying to do some stuff, and good on them getting creative because malls for the most part aren't doing well in this country. Just give me some breathing room. Yeah, okay, you're good. R2 button, activate the audible. L2 buttons. Okay. I'm about to start reading these tips. Seriously? There we go. Make up for my screw up there. Still need to figure out the. All right, hang on a second. We're gonna look this up. Arena Football. Unleashed. That's not what I want. I've got to figure out where this turbo button is because it's driving me nuts. All right. R1L1. Oh, R1. So let's try R1. Oh, dude, Chinese sounds good. Yeah, I get the wife's working late tonight and kids with her, so I'm like, hey, perfect night to get on here and stream for a little while. All right. Oh yeah, there's a turbo button. All right. What kind of Chinese food are you having? What's your poison there? Ooh. General Sal's good call. Good call. That's one of my go tos. That and broccoli beef actually. Hey Zach, how's it going? I'm gonna like pop the chat up here so y'all can see each other. Yeah, I had to fire it up. Oh man, that would have been a hell of a catch. So what's going on, Zach? How are things? How's the league treating you? It's good seeing you getting hooked up with them. Oh, well, we don't go for field goals here, so that actually worked out well for me. Nah, that failed. You guys are doing some great work, absolutely great work right now. I mean, these little short interviews are super digestible, and not too in depth. I'm like coming on here with me and spend 2 hours going nuts into stuff. Uh, I know. Charles and I both were like wishing we were a fly on the wall at those meetings. I can only imagine. I can only imagine what all you learned there. All right, we got to get some goal line stuff going on here. There we go. Did you get any time to get back home while you're out there? What a kick! It's from the 10. Wasn't that great of a kick? Two more reviews. So since we got you here, any more news expected soon? Hopefully, because I know they were uh, talking schedule in October. Hey, we got Max joining us too. Max, how things been? I don't know if you guys know Max. Max is a Kansas City guy. living out in Vegas. Got got to know him back in the old brigade days. You know, from what I was told with these franchises, and Zach, I don't know how much you can say on this. They're vetting him hard, and if they're missing anything, they're not being allowed in. They're not screwing around. There we go. Max, I'm glad we live in the age of emulators where we can just put whatever we want up here. I mean, that none of these games are officially lost anymore like they used to be. And I feel like vetting has to be incredibly scrutinized after last year, more than any other year. I mean, we've seen issues in the past, but nothing's come close to what we experienced last year. So I think things need to be just tight as can be this year, like more than they probably ever have been. Oh man, oh man, I like these man to mans. I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. No, that's exactly it, Charles. We just can't we just can't afford to. Honestly, even one mistake is huge. That being said, I was excited and surprised. Ooh, that's horrid. Excited and surprised to see that all 8 teams are returning. I genuinely didn't think we would see everybody. And so much for that. But yeah, the fact that all 8 teams are returning, honestly, just goes to show how strong things did end last year. As I say, that better be a safety. There's been 3 safeties in this game. This is horrible. And I guess that's back when they had foul out of bounds territory. I was hoping I was out in Stockton last week. I was hoping to be able to meet up with them, but just ran out of time. So yeah, I kept wondering who the big guy was in the pictures from Wichita, and then they announced the new GM, and like, okay, that makes sense. Whew. Yeah, I really hope to see Wichita do well. I'd like to go to more of their games. Just didn't quite happen last year. But it's a nice building, and from what I understand, it sounds like they got a good little tailgate set up out there, which that's right up my alley. Um, I would definitely like to see a little less of a indoor football flavor to the games, especially in Kansas. But they'll get there. They're learning. I have no idea what's happening now. Oh, promote it better, and they need a better they needed better not building facilities, but their own facilities. That field was not a good field. That field is not a good field, and clearly can't have the wild across the center of the field. Um, no good, but if they're committed, they'll get there. You guys have all heard me say it. There's no such thing as a bad market, only bad owners. So, and these guys seem committed. So that's all you can ask for. Well, honestly, even if that the wild field wouldn't have been that bad for last year, except for it was paper thin. It was very, very well used. I mean, I don't think if I have anything. I mean, it couldn't have been any thicker than my phone. Like the entire padding and turf and everything. Just it was bad. So, and there's hey, good news is there's a bunch of dead franchises. There's a bunch of new fields out there, or a bunch. So I would like to have seen Iowa's field get used more. Um, they it was a beautiful field. The turf on it was so nice and felt like actual grass. Um, they they had some things work out. They needed to get it painted better. They needed to do some things different with it. They didn't tease it up when they painted it, so when they painted it all, just went on one side of the blades. So when it got used, all of a sudden, those blades flipped over, and you couldn't see any of the paint. Um, but those squares, man, those squares are nice. Just watch them how quick they tore up the arena bowl field after the game. It was wild. Packs up nicely, clean, ships nicely. Because they had to take that field from Nashville up to New Jersey. I, that Soul logo, um, I actually think Salina should have incorporated it and um, actually painted the flames, the note portion of their paint some of those stripes red, make it a red, white, and blue flame, and modify the Salina Liberty logo to incorporate the old Philly Soul stuff. I know it's live, but no, it's something that I don't know. I think they could have had some fun with that and kept the Liberty. See, if you have a red, white, blue flag coming out the back of football, it could have worked for them. Wait, so Iowa's field ended up going somewhere else by the end of the year? I didn't see that if that was the case. Whoa. That is not who that was supposed to go to. Ooh. But yeah, Zach, I definitely, if you got any picture of that, I'd love to see. Love to see how that looked. There we go. Good old Houston Thunderbirds. That's another team, another city I'd love to see get a team at some point. I think Houston could pull it off. There you go. Yeah, I had no clue that's where the. I thought the Iowa field was still available. Guess Trevor wasn't going to sit on that for too long. But yeah, there's quite a few fields out there that if somebody, and good fields, that if somebody wants to. Ooh. West Virginia Miners. I'm going to have to look that up when we're done. What do we want to do? Let's have fun with this one. Since I didn't get it to work last time. Oh, that didn't work again this time. Fancy as teams cover the AFL logo with the new AF1 version. That's true. There's so many logistic things that are going to be real interesting to see how it gets worked out. Putting the league logo, hate to say it, but putting the league logo at the center of the field honestly doesn't make sense. Period. Put your franchise's logo there. Because things change clearly. Yeah. Yeah. Salina still had that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think you can just, man, make it your own. Stand out. You can stand out that way. 4th and 27. All right. Yeah, there's lots of things they could do to. Oh, surprised they went for that. There's a lot of different things they could do, but you need to have the league logo out there. But like I said, clearly things change. Do you really want to throw a corporate logo in the center that may or may not be what you use next year? I mean, I think they're finding that out this time. But so much I think was mandated to them last year. Because it was league mandated to have the logo center of the field, but clearly they didn't hold anybody to it. There we go. I'm going to be real interested too to see how what ends up happening with TV. I do believe there's going to be some sort of TV deal, but what that's does Jerry has some connections to the NFL Network, obviously. Obviously, Fisher does as well. Do they pull that out? Do they go back to CBS? I mean, there's so many options. CBS Sports Network was good for him. Yeah, the question's always where. I thought last year with the casino tie-ins that Bally Sports was going to be where they ended up. And it's funny because everybody's like, "Oh, Bally's going bankrupt. They're not going to be around." Bally's still around and the league isn't. So Um, I think that's a good regional network to get everybody on. If you have to do a national game, you got to do that big deal. But after that, regional networks would cover it. But I don't know. They've got to do something. That's one of the things that does set this league apart from others is you get national exposure regularly. Um, there's not a lot of variety to these plays. They're pretty are what they are. Oh, pass was blocked. It wasn't terrible. Yeah, it basically is NFL Blitz reskinned, and it's just pure chaos. It's a lot of fun. I'd love to see him pull off. I mean, it's expensive. I get it, but man, the deal they had with the NFL Network last year, the amount of slots they were going to get was incredible. Like to have that many games on tap, man, it's kind of surreal to have that much going on. Uh, but yeah, if they can get multiple slots, from what I'm gathering, it's not even so much that the TV time that's expensive; it's the production. Like that's what really gets them. I'd like to think that the bridge isn't burned with the NFL Network, given that they have worked with Jerry before. Um, yeah, they have worked with Jerry before. They do know who Jeff is. They know they weren't involved with it previously, and it's been rebranded. Funny enough, to the same brand that the NFL Network took them on last time. What was that? Um, and ultimately, what it cost the NFL Network, they just put on some rerun that they were going to be putting on anyway. So it didn't hurt them. Oof. Well, let's call a spade a spade. The IFL's cheap. That's why they're in the IFL. That's why they haven't raised player pay. That's ah, So no, they're not. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to make any big moves. They've had plenty of opportunities and they've chosen not to. And it's a shame. Those players deserve a lot better than what they're getting. Um, but yeah, production cost is brutal because you got to think. You got to have cameras. You got to have statisticians. You got to have people calling the game. You've got to have cameramen. You got to have. It's a lot of people. The producers and it's just a ton. Way more. It's not just hey throw Ari and sit in a booth and a couple iPhones in your set. Well, and again, the regional TV deals are great, but it's you still run into that production problem. Um, and then, but that should be budgeted. It should be money should be in an escrow account already. Like it's the kind of stuff that it sounds like they're preparing for, and that's man, that's just how it is. It's oh yeah. And national TV, you can't. It was, and for and a difficult venue to shoot in, and it still looked good. Um, there aren't great sight lines from a camera perspective in that building. So the fact they made it look as good as they did is honestly testament to how good that crew was. The production crew though was actually out of Nashville for that game. Uh, it was the I can't remember what they're called, but anyways, it was some Nashville. Oh yeah, it was in the sun. The mall was stupid hot. Yeah, anytime I was sweating like crazy as the sun was beating down. But I'll tell you what, there's never a better lit Arena Bowl than that one. The pictures and the lighting is it's so hard to take pictures of Arena Football because it's a darker building with fast action, so you can't turn the settings too high or it gets blurry, too low you can't see anything. Um, so yeah, I loved having the natural lighting, but man, it was crazy hot. Um, but yeah, like Charles saying, it puts the game on a different level when you're on that net. You have that national deal. Um, got that national television. It's good for the players. The players get more exposure, and it has to be about them. Um, this game's gonna. There we go. By kicking with 153 points. Okay, 153 points kicking's a lot. Anyway, so yeah, I mean it shows it's a more professional league when you get it on TV for one. Um, one thing, sorry, I'm kind of just shooting from the hip here. I would like to see them get it back on ESPN. Only for one reason. I'd like to see them work with ESPN and time the season with the week they do the ESPN 8 when they do the Ocho, and have the Arena Bowl be the final event of Ocho Week. I think that would be a great way to showcase a quirky game to people that like quirky sports. Yeah, I think that would be so much fun to cap off that week. Because I can't remember what they did last time, but they had some other event to finish off the Ocho, and it was okay, but man, it'd be the perfect time for the Arena Bowl, and I do think it would open it up to a whole lot more folks. Um, eh, then again, if we're going to go down my pipe dream angle, I'd like to see ESPN come in with the mouse. You got to have Disney tagging along here. Put a team in New York, call them the Avengers, and slap that A with the arrow on the side of their helmet. Have a New York Avengers, and partner it up with Disney, partner it up with ESPN. That'd be awesome. The kind of marketing you could do around a Marvel deal. Yeah, it could just be a lot of fun. There's a lot of benefits to going the Disney route, but I'm sure there's a lot of expense to it as well. Oh yeah, it would be national headlines if they had an Avengers team. There is I want to say there's a Marvel Australian football stadium that they actually, it's like their stadium is Marvel Stadium. So it's not unheard of for them to get involved in the sports world. But oh man, that'd be fun though. Because you imagine the fans in the stands and all the outfits and stuff they're all dressing up in as their favorite Marvel heroes. We we actually had in Iowa, we had enough guys dressing up as Marvel people. We started calling our little fan group that sat in the end zone the Iowa Avengers. Iowa Avengers. Just roll that all together. Because yeah, we had an Iron Man, we had a Captain America, we had a Thor-like person. Yeah, I was slasher, so that's a whole different deal. But yeah, we had it was a good time. Oh, we had a Spider-Man. We had a guy coming out Spider-Man. But I said we had a good time out there. It was definitely something I miss. I'd love to get back to those old days. But it's not the same in Des Moines like it used to be. The end zones my end zone used to just be packed. Let's see, I can pull up some old pictures here. Kind of going off the rails a little bit, but it's all good. Where are we at here? So yeah, back in the day, they used to pack Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, and the place is just rocking. Every week was just absolutely rocking. Place was loud. It was just a great time. And then they wouldn't win, and people still came back, and they're like, well, the crowds are getting a little bit thinner, but once we win, everybody's going to come back. Everybody's going to come back once we win. That was always what they said, and they finally got around to winning one, and they didn't come back. But security there is brutal. They just really didn't take care of the fans like they should have. Ultimately, actually, I wonder if I can pause this. I know I can stop sharing. We're going to hop over to YouTube for a second. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but also I'd use the right keyboard. I got way too much tech going on here. Oh yeah, 2008 Seoul, they definitely packed that place. So part of when things change in Iowa, and hopefully the game isn't still playing in the background. So back when they get a touchdown, we'd have this one player come out, and I can't for life of me remember the guy's name, but he'd come out and do this dance to Gary Glitter's rock and roll number 2.
How about that for that? You guys gotta make some noise upstairs now. Second level. In your comfy seats. Come on now, make some noise, second level. How about the lower bowl now? Make a little noise in the house.
Proud.
To the church in the other area. Here we go, Barnstormer football. Oh,
went from that to, you know, and last time I saw a game there was like maybe 3 rows in my old end zone that had people in it. We used to pack it almost all the way up, and man, it's just it's a shame that they've lost that much because God, it was a great time back in the day. But no, they had it was there was 2 places back in the old AF2 and early AFL 2.0. It was Spokane and Iowa, and after going to the Arena Bowl in Spokane, man, that place is little tiny shoebox of an arena, and man, it got loud. They definitely knew how to make some noise in Spokane. The best thing was watching the goal line bandits before the Arena Bowl, absolutely begging Jerry to put him on TV. And they're like, no, we won't do the shocker. We won't do the shocker. We'll be good. We won't do that. So promise we won't do and they had signs along the fence saying, hey, that if you make contact with any player, you can be removed from the game. Like it was nuts. Oh, there we go. So yeah, they had these signs up on all the walls, all the way around the arena. They had these on all the walls. Do not lean over the dashboards to reach out, touch a player, attempt to retrieve ball. Like they didn't screw around. They knew these Spokane fans were brutal, and they would do. They had to keep them under control. But yeah, just a little, like I said, a little tiny shoebox of an arena. Cool place, very very cool place. Let's see. I'm just taking y'all down memory lane here with these, but let's try that again. There we go. So, yeah, it was tight. It fit in there. It fit a field, and that was it. And those fans were nuts. But yeah, it was a good. That was the closest I came to not making an Arena Bowl. Was Spokane. My wife bought me tickets at the very very last minute so I could keep it going. So, but yeah, they did some good stuff there for sure. So, all right, guys, I think I am going to call it. I got to get some food in me since I don't know. It's probably been about 7 hours since I ate. But no, I appreciate y'all coming on, and yeah, we'll all be in touch. Zach, keep us up to date. Keep putting out the good work. Like I said, I'm loving the videos. Like I said, it's nice, easy, quick watch. It doesn't take too much, but you kind of just get a little feel of what they're bringing. So yeah, keep up the great work. Like I said, I'm happy to see you get involved because we missed you for the majority of last season. But anyways, guys, thank you all for coming out. So it's kind of an impromptu little stream. Yeah, we'll catch up with you soon.